Picture this. It's just after midnight, no moon. A man is alone on one of the most powerful rivers in North America, in complete darkness, sitting inside a pumpkin. Not a boat shaped like a pumpkin, an actual hollowed-out 1,000-pound gourd. The support lights on his escort boat had just caught fire and burned out. He couldn't see the bank. He couldn't see the current. And he had already been paddling for 18 hours straight. Here's what I need you to know before we go any further. This man finished the journey. And that's not even the craziest record on this list, not by a long shot. Because today we're looking at 10 world records that are so bizarre, so unexpected, and honestly, so weirdly human that they will completely change how you think about what people are capable of. Some of these took decades. One took 66 years. One involves a parrot with more TikTok followers than most people you know. And at least one will genuinely make you question whether we're the most intelligent species on the planet or just the most stubborn. Let's get into it.
His name is Gary Christensen, a 46-year-old from Happy Valley, Oregon, and he has been growing giant pumpkins since 2011. That alone is a personality. But in 2024, Christensen took things somewhere no reasonable adult should go. He grew a pumpkin he nicknamed Punky Loafster, weighing in at 1,214 pounds, hollowed it out, climbed inside, and set off down the Columbia River with one goal: paddle 46 miles to break the Guinness World Record for the longest paddling journey by pumpkin boat. He trained for months, ran 5 miles a day, spent weekends kayaking the same stretch of river with pool noodles strapped to his kayak to simulate the drag of the pumpkin. He estimated the gourd was at least 4 times harder to power through water than a normal kayak. The attempt began before sunrise on October 12, 2024, and almost immediately things went sideways. A forecast of a 15-mile-per-hour tailwind turned into a 35-mile-per-hour tailwind. He got forced off the water. Then came the fire. Then the darkness. But 26 hours after he started, in the early hours of October 13th, Gary Christensen climbed out of his pumpkin north of Vancouver, Washington, having paddled 45.67 miles. Official Guinness World Record. His quote afterward was simple: "Every kid looks at Guinness World Records and would love to be in there. I just thought, that's got to be mine." Which raises an obvious question. Why pumpkins? Why this? The answer, as it turns out, is the same for almost everyone on this list, because no one else had done it yet.
Now we need to talk about nails, specifically the longest fingernails ever recorded on a single hand, and the man who grew them. Sridhar Chilal from Pune, India, stopped cutting the nails on his left hand in 1952. He was 14 years old. By the time he finally had them removed, in 2018, he was 82. His nails had a combined length of over 909 centimeters. That's nearly 30 feet of nail on one hand. His thumbnail alone had grown into a coil almost 6.5 feet long. Here's the part that should stop you cold. Chilal could not sleep on his left side for over 6 decades because the weight and shape of his nails made it impossible. He couldn't fully close his left hand. Nerve damage had left several fingers partially numb. He reportedly woke up every 20 to 30 minutes through the night to reposition so he wouldn't accidentally roll over and break one. 66 years of interrupted sleep for fingernails. When asked why he did it, he pointed to a teacher who had once scolded him for accidentally breaking a classmate's long nail. The teacher told him he could never understand the dedication it took. Chilal decided then and there to understand it completely. His nails are now preserved and on permanent display at Ripley's Believe It or Not in Times Square, New York.
You already know what a plank is. You've held one, maybe for 30 seconds before quietly dying inside. Donna Jean Wild is a 58-year-old Canadian grandmother, and in 2024, she held an abdominal plank for 4 hours and 30 minutes without stopping,
earning a Guinness World Record for the longest plank by a woman. Let that sink in for a second. 4 hours, 30 minutes. For context, the world record for the men's category, held by former U.S. Marine George Hood, stands at 8 hours, 15 minutes, and 15 seconds. Hood trained for 18 months specifically for the attempt. His preparation included 700 hours of planking and roughly 2,100 hours of additional conditioning. What makes Donna Jean Wild's record land differently isn't just the number, it's what it quietly challenges. The assumption that peak physical performance belongs to the young, that world records are for athletes in their 20s with sponsorships and social media teams. Wild is a grandmother, and she held her body rigid for longer than most people can sit through a flight to Europe.
His name is Apollo. He's 4 years old. He's an African gray parrot, and he has 2.8 million followers on TikTok. He lives in Florida with his owners Dalton and Victoria Mason, and in 2024, he officially became a Guinness World Record holder. Apollo's record, the most items correctly identified by a parrot in 3 minutes. He named 12 objects presented to him, including a book, a sock, and a figurine of Wario from Super Mario, all by name, unprompted, in under 3 minutes. This isn't a parlor trick. African gray parrots are widely regarded by cognitive scientists as among the most intelligent non-human animals on Earth. Research by animal psychologist Dr. Irene Pepperberg demonstrated that African grays can grasp abstract concepts, color, number, shape, and absence at a cognitive level comparable to a 5-year-old child. Apollo's record is funny on the surface, but underneath it, there's something genuinely unsettling about a bird that can look at a sock and tell you what it is, while millions of people watch on TikTok.